The father of Brandon Estle took the stand this morning as a prosecution witness in the murder trial of his son.
Estle was charged with beating and shooting Justin Hasty in October of last year, then putting his body in a storage container that was found on his parents' property and found by his father.
Fox 10 News reporter Steve Alexander has been covering the trial for you all day, joining us now from Government Plaza. Steve, what's the latest?
And right now the prosecution is still continuing to call witnesses. Brandon Estle's father is Doug Estle. He is the principal of Alma Bryant High School here in Mobile. He testified that the Monday after Justin Hasty, his parents and police discovered the blood-splattered walls at his home, Brandon Estle acted paranoid, according to Doug Estle, and was seeing and hearing things. Doug Estle testified that even before Hasty disappeared, his son admitted to having a cocaine problem, and he was concerned 2 days after Hasty went missing that his son was acting strangely and that his knee appeared to be hurt. Defense attorney Jeff Dean says Brandon Estle killed Hasty out of self-defense after Hasty hit Estle in the knee with a baseball bat and pulled a gun after Hasty wanted Estle to repay money he borrowed for drugs. Doug Estle testified he asked Brandon what was wrong with his knee, and Brandon told him he had slipped on the stairs in his apartment.
He was a witness for the prosecution, but I think he gave us an overall good overview of the case.
Doug Estle also testified he knew Brandon and Justin Hasty were friends and heard on the news Hasty had been missing. Estle testified that he asked Brandon, "What's going on here? Is someone after you? Do you owe money to someone?" He testified Brandon told him he owed Hasty a little money. Doug Estle also testified that he noticed Brandon kept checking to see if anyone was driving onto the property.
It was basically that after some bizarre behavior by his son and discussion with him, he realized that he needed to get law enforcement to come out there and look at something that was in the cotton field. So he did the right thing and called.
Doug Estle also testified that as he continued his discussions with Brandon, he called the Mobile County Sheriff's Department and gave them permission to search his home. In opening arguments, District Attorney Ashley Rich had said Estle's parents had noticed blood on clothes that Brandon had worn.
I think Mr. Estle's under a lot of pressure. He's done a lot to try to help his son, fully cooperate with law enforcement, which would be difficult for any father to do, but he's done what he can as a citizen.
After Estle took the stand, the prosecution called Brandon Estle's ex-girlfriend, Marina Catroni. She testified on the morning that Hasty disappeared. Brandon's eyes were bloodshot and he was acting hyper. When he finally went to sleep, Catroni testified she looked at Brandon's phone and found text messages from Hasty referring to Molly and suspected drug use. Dean says there is some testimony he would like to bring up, but isn't able to.
The judge feels like that the hearsay rule would preclude us from bringing up a lot of things that we would like to have brought up as to what was said by the son to the father, but the judge has ruled that that's hearsay.
Now, District Attorney Ashley Rich is not talking on camera right now. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Dean talks about whether or not he's changed his mind concerning whether Brandon Estle will take the stand in his own defense. That coming up in just less than an hour. Reporting live from the 8th floor of Government Plaza, Steve Alexander, Fox 10 News.
A lot of details there, Steve.